We put a house on the market, which we're flipping in on Boxing Day. So we ChatGPT'd all the interior design. We got them back and I was like, actually, a CGI editor will not be able to be better than this. And it was in seconds.
Let's double down on this piece of advice. It's a good nugget for anyone out there, particularly if you're selling flats, selling houses. Before you engage a CGI person from now on, you can do it in multiple ways. You can take the section through plans, floor plans, or on site, you might have a white box finish. You might even just have your studs up. Take a photo of it, plug it into ChatGPT, Grok, or Gemini, and just put in a good prompt for the spec you want and what you want it to look like as a finish. And you can even put red dots on it for your socket positions. And you just make a diagram and say all the red dots are sockets. They're going to be black sockets, white sockets, whatever. The bed's going to go roughly here. And I swear to God, it's nigh on perfect. And you could use that as sales collateral and put that into a brochure, and you've saved yourself a few grand on CGIs. Welcome back. Episode 89 of the Ground Up Podcast. This is the first one we're recording of the new year, 2026. Best wishes to everyone. What a great year it's going to be, as we all know.
Happy New Year.
Happy New bloody year. We're filming this at a bit of a weird time because obviously it's just been Christmas, New Year's, both Thursdays, so we weren't available. So we are recording this on a Saturday evening in the UK. Jack's out in LA on a big bender, about to go play some golf. He's doing family time. D, where are you? Are you at home?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Got a lot of suspense.
The suspense. Yeah.
It's crazy. But yeah. So we've got no plan for this. This is just basically going to be idle chit chat about the Christmas break, a bit of a catch up, and then we'll talk about this year 26 and maybe a couple predictions, what we think might happen. That's the plan. And big love, subscribe. Thank you. And this week is the week of the Ground Up Live event. So we'll do our review on the next episode. Thank you for everyone who's coming. And actually, you will still be able to get tickets. So this comes out in the morning before the live event. So you can still get last minute tickets now, potentially, if they've not sold out. So make sure you go get your tickets from Instagram bio, Ground Up Pod. Check out link in description and cop yourself some tickets to the live event. It's going to be sick. Cool. All right, gang, how are we doing? Stuart, you seem bubbly. What are you saying? Lots of chocolate?
I'm all right, mate. I'm good. I've had a good Christmas. I'm looking forward to the final tonight. So Luke Littner's playing darts on the final. I tell you what, it's one of those winter sports I just get well into. So he's playing some Dutchman, and he's Van Veen, I think his name is, and he's just smashed Gary. What's his name?
You're into darts
guy last night. No. I don't really. I enjoy it, man. It's great. Yeah, but the final's on in literally an hour and 15 minutes, so we've got to smash this out. And it's been a busy Christmas. It's kids have done my head in. I'm really looking forward to them going back to nursery. Eating far too much chocolate. Made far too many bonfires in the garden, cutting trees down.
Your story every day is you burning something. I swear.
We had so many fires. There was so much to burn. We started
Arsonist.
2 up. Yeah, it's addictive, mate.
You could just imagine him there in the garden, can't you? I love darts. Another one on.
Love it. Burn it.
It's great, man. It's so addictive. Getting down there and we lit one of the big redwoods. We bought it where the tree was already on its side when we bought it. So we sort of carved up into logs and then
they all were, weren't they? Oh, that one's coming down actually. Yeah.
Yeah, they're all on their side actually. It's the only reason you bought it.
Yeah, this one actually was. It's the only hardwood tree that was on its arse. The rest of them are all holly
protected
bushes
one was on its arse.
But yeah, no, it's been good. It's been good. Design the house as well. Been working on that in the evenings with ChatGPT to work out what to make it look like, which is cool. I took Emily skiing the other day, which was yesterday, which was just brilliant. We're going on holiday end of February. Just me, her, both her granddads, and my brother-in-law. So we're just going to take on a bit of a lads trip for 5 days to Mirabel. So I'm hoping I can get her skiing. I've booked in a few weeks of training for her. So she's great. I mean, literally 4-year-old. All the others are like 5 or 6, and she's the youngest in the group by a mile. And threw some skis on her. She couldn't even walk of them. And then an hour and a half later, she's trying to do the old pizza, the old snowplow down, which is great. So very much enjoyed that. But yeah, it's all good, mate. But ate too much. No exercise. You know, it's Christmas mood, so it's got to be like, and I've obviously got to build the presentations for the ground up. So started the digital property one, which is exciting. In front of so many people, 150 people or something. So to do a philosophy on, what I believe in, which is pretty insane. But and then I've got a HMO one, which I'm also going to very much enjoy doing. So get mine out early in the day, and then let you boys crack on with loads of Q&As and
love it.
Lots of
love it, mate.
it'd be good. How about your Christmas been?
Well, yeah, D, whilst
down
Stu's
London.
talking about skiing, what are you saying about our skiing? Because we've got some skiing coming up. What's going on there? How was your Christmas? And talk about skiing, mate.
Yeah, good. Well, this year actually has been probably the first year I would say. Normally, every Christmas after Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, there's like this period of time where I've got a lot of time to plan, strategize. This year, it's been the first year where it's been not as easy to do that because my kids are at a certain age, so they require quite a lot of attention, quite a lot of playing. They want to play with all their toys, etc., which is all good. But I've struggled to actually do only until the last few days, which is good because I'm back in front where I need to be now. So, but it's been a very tiring one, actually, very tiring. I'm looking forward to Monday. I'm looking forward to going again. I'm recharged. I've got a plan.
I love that you have like the hardest weeks, the most stressful job, and I know it doesn't tire you out, but literally spending a week with the kids, and you're like, "Fucking hell, put me back in the fire of property development, mate."
Yeah,
I need a break.
definitely. Been having this conversation at home as well, but so hats off to anybody that looks after kids on a full time basis because it's much harder than what we do. But yeah, I'm looking forward to get back. I've got a big plan. Loads of strategy sessions. We was meant to do one today on ground up, but the darts is on, so we'll reconvene on that.
I'll just thumbs up, man. I'm in. Whatever you want to do, I'm good.
Yeah, there you go.
But I've been
Just you
I've been
boys.
filling my time with other stuff. So I built this helicopter, done some paintings. I've read loads of books, listened to loads of books. I played lots of guitar, piano. I'm just waiting for the fifth. When's the fifth coming? Come on. Sounds terrible, doesn't it?
Ready to
Go
go.
on, mate.
Yeah.
You want to start a gun? What about you, Jack? How's your Christmas break, mate?
So I flew out to America on Christmas Day with a 5-month-old baby, which was interesting for an 11-hour flight, but she was really good. And it's been pretty chilled. Like when I find that when you're at home and I live in the same town as my office, so it's easy for me to slip in and do some work and not chill out. Like I very rarely sit on the sofa and just chill out. But when you're over here, the time difference, we're 8 hours behind. I'm on an ex-PGA Tour golf course, is where we're staying. So it's very easy to actually relax and sort of unplug for a bit. So been taking advantage of that. New Year's was pretty chilled as well. But yeah, lots of golf, cigars, Pacificos on the golf course. Can't
Beautiful.
complain.
Living a life.
And I've got living with a babysitter as well, so we can kind of go to the gym.
Like the
do
old
whatever we
times,
need to
mate.
do. Yeah, I know. But no, all good. I'm back on Wednesday. Well, I fly Wednesday, land Thursday, so I'm back day before the event. So next week's going to be tricky because Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is going to be a busy business day, as it always is. But I'm picking up things 8 hours late, so even if I get up at 6 a.m., it's still well into the English afternoon. So it's not horrible playing that catch up on the day's progress. It's a
Yeah.
really difficult time difference to actually work with. Like when you're in Dubai, you're 2 hours ahead. So it's nice, like you can get to your desk and people aren't awake yet, and you're always ahead of the game. But this in reverse is really tough because no matter what time you get up in the morning, you just wake up to an onslaught of WhatsApp messages, emails, missed phone calls, and you feel like you're on the back foot. So excited to be back. The wife and baby are staying out here another month, so I've got a bit of time to just absolutely smash the first part of January around some ski trips.
Will you fly back to bring them back, or will they fly back on
No,
their
I
own?
think
We'll
I'll
meet
just leave them to their own
Leave 'em to it.
devices.
Fair play.
Well done,
My
mate.
wife
It's
will let me fly
an
back to bring the
11-hour
kids back.
flight, so if it was somewhere else, maybe. But yeah, but I think my mum actually, bless her, offered to fly out and do that. But I think we'll be all right.
Nice, mate. Beautiful. Well, I had a pretty chill one. It was lovely family time. Played loads of like family kind of games and charades and all that kind of stuff. That was sweet. Humble, sort of cruising through that period. I've called it the Gooch period, by the way. I don't know if you guys saw that on my story, but we needed to name the period between Christmas and New Year's, and nothing happens in that time. It's a very uneventful period. You can't really get work done. No one's really working, so I'm calling it Goochmas from now on. And I got quite a bit of work done. Quite a lot of planning and strategy stuff. And
Off the gooch.
Yeah, like, no man's land between one activity and another. That is
Interesting.
now
Okay.
Goochmas. I know, I've coined it. I
Goochmas.
put a poll up on Instagram and everyone said I was right, so I'm taking it. It's called Goochmas from now on. But it was nice. It was a nice little, like, wholesome time with friends, family. It felt good to kind of like be off the pace a bit, but because I was down in London quite a bit of it, it just felt like I could just like be around people and just like, lots of drinking. I'm not gonna lie, I've consumed a lot of alcohol over the last couple of weeks, but not too much shit food. So I've not put on any weight, feeling in pretty good shape, ready to go. But we didn't talk about skiing. So we should maybe plug the ski trip a little bit because I'm not entirely sure where we're at with that. D, this is on your neck. So D, what's going on with the ski trip?
Are we getting a second villa?
Yeah, I'm not really entirely sure where we're at with that myself. Ryan. So,
Sounds good.
We're fully booked. We're fully booked on one villa, and now we think we're contemplating another villa because it's sold out within a few hours. Was the last I heard on some WhatsApp chat between us.
yeah, so we're fully booked. I believe I will just check on Monday. I think it was just getting all the payments in, but providing everybody that we've sent the payments to, the paid, then we should be fully booked. So there may be, if anything, like one space left. There's definitely not more than one space available. Anyway, that's for sure. So, but I think this year was one of those transitions because last year I run it under my like personal name, and then this going forward from this year and going forward, we're running things through ground up, which is better in my opinion anyway. So I think what we found, this is where the talk of a second one come from, but we've not booked anything, is that the more events we do, and we're planning to do stuff like this, the people who've come before are going to want to book on straight away, which is what's happened, and it means it's something for us to talk about. It means they're going to get fully booked like instantly without really any effort. But it's good. We're going to Maribel. We've got a chalet. There's 14 of us, the Three Valleys, France, and it'll be fun. It'll be good.
Sick. All right, beautiful. Well, we're fully booked anyway, so no need to promo it. But that will be a sick time.
I would say people can join an events waitlist, which would be a good idea. So if you are interested in any events, whether it's go-karting, skiing, anything else that we do, just comment waitlist and we'll reach out to you and make sure that you're made aware of anything that gets launched as and when.
We should try and do a bit of maybe a shooting day as well. That's quite a good laugh. Maybe some shooting and some food or something. Bisley's quite good in Woking. We could do that. We could do an event down there maybe.
Well, I think this
Mine-
ties
Shoot-
into
Shooting's definitely an idea.
We're going to brainstorm this offline, right? After the darts.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the whole theme of this episode, just for our listeners' benefit, now we've done a little bit of a catch up, is we'll talk about strategy going forward for the year, talk about ground up strategy, our individual business strategies. I think it's always a nice one because we can look back on it in a year. And I did that for our first episode. I've watched that back a couple of months ago, which is now nearly 2 years ago. And it's interesting to see your mindset and what you were thinking, your plans were and stuff. So it's a bit of a time capsule for us. So I think we should talk about strategy going forwards. We are going to talk about strategy for ground up. We've had great experience. I think I speak for all of us here when I say that our plan was just to build something organic and try and add as much value as possible, understand what it was going to sort of become. The network sort of naturally evolved, and now that's got great traction. People are wanting to be a part of it, and we've not really consolidated our thoughts to go, okay, let's really strategize this now and see what value offering we can give. So that's the part of our strategy, is to this year really double down on what ground up is and offer a really community led, like everyone's there to help each other. It's not some money making training course scheme. It's like it's a network, so that some person that knows Dick, Tom and Harry, and all of those guys can help you, and it saves you thousands of pounds in mistakes or knowledge or better prices. And that's our plan. So we're going to do that after. In terms of individuals, Stu, do you want to start with any strategy or forecasts or changes you've got this year for Skylofts and SW Homes?
I mean, literally, as soon as that autumn budget happened, it's just gone absolutely bonkers. People have been sitting on their hands waiting to know, or the nervousness of what's going on with their jobs or with the money in the economy, that we had like 8 or 9 go ahead like within a few days after, and we had I think we had 9 go ahead the week leading up to Christmas. So it's just gone bonkers, which is great. And I've set a deal up with XB Surveys. One of my architects, lovely girl, she's been with me for about 4.5 years. She's going back to Romania for about 3 months for some health stuff. It's a lot cheaper back home than here. Some private checks, this, that, and the other. Anyway, she's going back home for 3 months. So what we've done is use the advantage to work with the network and with Jack and with Ben, and we're going to we've set up a deal where we're going to use their services for 2 or 3 days a month, and we're going to just fill them 2-3 surveys, and they're going to go out first point of contact. Basically, as soon as someone signs up, get them booked in, they're going to go and do a full digital home survey, do the digital measured survey, and then hopefully within 4 or 5 days we've got a full set of drawings, elevations, sections done. Because we're working in the loft section, we don't have to be as accurate on the ground floors and stuff, so we'll find that relationship together. But what I'm now hoping is that Ross, my in-house architect, will be able to go within a week from them signing up with the existing drawings to have a red pen meeting with the customer and talk about exactly what they want to do. So we're not mucking around doing 2 or 3 options, because that's one of our USPs is we've got an in-house architectural team. We'll come and do different options, and we'll have that one-to-one relationship now. We're carving out a lot of the time wasted on going around with a tape measure and measuring everything. We're very OCD in our company. We want everything to be, and that's one of our strengths, is that our fitters and our loft teams and people who work with us love the amount of time we spend on our drawings. It makes everyone's life so much easier. So our plan is to go there with a full set of existings, draw it with them. So we're actually removing the time it takes to do 2 or 3 options, draw up exactly what they're looking for in their house. We call it red pen meeting. And then we'll whip that over to Romania. Andrea will do all the finished drawings, and we'll go straight into the cancel and hopefully try and time that within a few weeks. So it means that we can do more with less team members. I'm definitely not looking to take many more staff members on, maybe 1 or 2 this year. But yeah, no, I'm really excited because that changes the whole infrastructure. So that will change the whole wave of how the business runs. So it's almost like re-engineering the wheel from the start again, which is great, because then you can look at your team players, work out actually what we want from them. When Meg went on maternity leave, I spent Boxing Day with her and her family. She's doing really well. Looking forward to getting back. Got massive FOMO. She's been a great mum, but she definitely is career driven as well. She's back in June. But since then, when she put up on Instagram that she was pregnant, I had 2 employees who were excellent for different reasons, that we ended our journey after sort of 3 and 4 years. A couple of years has passed. They both had kids. One's getting divorced. One is very happy, but tried to run a little bakery thing, didn't work out, but they've come back both part-time. So what's happened now is we've got 2 people who are fairly experienced in a job they've done only a few years ago that are filled in part-time positions. And I've changed the whole sales pitch now to say, we've got 2 young ladies who have been with us. Here's our 10-year book to show all the memoirs of our company. These girls have been with us. They've gone to have families, and now we're supporting them, and they're back 4 days a week each. So we're telling customers that they get a relationship manager Monday to Thursday or Tuesday to Friday. And, if you send them an email on the Monday, they're not in, you wait till Tuesday. We're not saving lives here. So the whole sales pitch has changed around the customer. It's like, these are our rules of the game. This is how we operate, and this is what we do. And some customers love it because we're honest, we're ethical, we're trying to help. One's a single parent, one's a small, young family. Like I said, we're not doctors and surgeries, we're not 24/7, but we're structuring the whole thing around to make it work for us. And then my number one priority is obviously this house. I need to, Charlotte's fallen in love with it, that she's fallen in love with the charm, the character of it, which is dangerous because I'm not staying as it is. I'm not spending money on doing small bits. We're going in balls deep. Yeah. And we're going to get it ripped off, the roof's coming off. So, so I'm really trying to keep her motivated to choose brick samples and render and oak details and windows and stuff that I really like. But she's really pulled me away from this big glass triangle front, this big atrium I wanted to do. She wants it to be more homely, and I get it because, as much as it will look great, I want it to be close the door and we're at home and it should be cozy. So
send her on a nice holiday to Dubai for a few weeks, just as you're building that front facade, mate. A-frame it. Once it's built, it's done. You know what I mean?
I think I've got a solution for it. I think the house layout, I'll show you boys offline, but it looks mega. If I can get planning. There's a Christmas tree run that happened this morning. Go on.
On the same line, didn't Ryan design your dream house over Christmas as well? Did I see something like that you did, Ryan?
No, that was my own one. I was just messing about using AI, and mate, AI is that's what you've done, Stu, as well, isn't it? It's crazy.
It's unbelievable. You just throw in an option that you literally can sketch it up and then just literally write on it, like render, tile, and then you can just basically go, can you just dull down? Can you silver the oak? Can you make it more natural? Can you put diamond LEDs in that window? Can you just pop that window out into a bit of a bay? It's just insane. Can you take the lead cheeks off and change it for hanging tile? One of the roof pictures I had, it had like a little step in the side, and I basically took a picture of it. I dragged the roof tile over on Pages, took a screenshot of that picture, and went, "Can you make the roof like this with the 2 hips?" And then boom, it come back exactly as planned. It was it's unbelievable. It's so powerful. Like all the architect friends I've got are like, "You're just going to put us out of work." I'm like, "No, you're going to take the drawing I want that's scaled, and then I won't spend time watercoloring it and sending it off to 3D renderers. I'll just put it straight into ChatGPT and pay the premium and just keep throwing it in." 10 seconds later, throws out another image, and you can make the smallest little tweaks. It's really powerful. But
that functionality in and of itself is only going to be massively beneficial to architects. For CGI guys, they're screwed, mate. They are like screwed.
We put a house on the market, which we're flipping in on Boxing Day, and we ChatGPT'd all the like interior design. I'll send some photos in so that you can share them on the channel. And we got them back, and I was like, actually, a CGI editor will not be able to be better than this. And it was in
Yeah.
seconds. Just
Yeah.
boom, boom, boom. And they're actually on Rightmove. We used them. They were free in seconds. It's crazy.
It's mad. Just a little tip though.
That's
So
a
I've
good
used
shout,
a few
actually.
of them.
That's
I've used a few of them. Yeah, Gemini, Banana Pro, which is its engine, seems to be the best one for doing this kind of stuff because you can quite easily iterate the image, and like it's like really easy to iterate it. Whereas I find ChatGPT sometimes like changes more things than you wanted it to change. Gemini is like almost flawless if you give it a good prompt.
Oh, this was ChatGPT, and it was pretty
Was
flawless
it
as
spot on?
well.
Was it?
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah, it even did things like because it's we apparently Boxing Day is the most viewed Rightmove day in the year. So we really pushed this project to get it on market on Boxing Day, and it's like people eat load over Christmas and then they chill out on Boxing Day and maybe sit down with their partners and think about what they want to achieve that year, and it might be a house move or whatever. And because we rushed it, there's certain bits of the property that aren't finished. Like there's in the living room, there's a bit of skirting missing, and it looks ugly because where the sort of finished, it's a really nice engineered oak floor finishes to the wall. It's just like a bare area where there's no skirting. And without a prompt, ChatGPT matched the skirting in the whole room, banged it on the wall, decorated it. It was it's nuts.
Yeah, the intuition of it's amazing as well. Like.
I will send you the video so you can put it up on the thing. But that's the house layout. I don't know if that's coming up. That's using the existing footprint. That's moving the front door from the center to off center to get light right. Because I really wanted the glass at the top. So the plan is to go above the front door and have that all open to flood the inside with light, and then bring the garage forward.
Can you show what you put into ChatGPT for it to show that? Because this would be beneficial for anyone watching.
It's been a revision of like 6 or 7, so I can
Sure,
go
yeah,
back
yeah.
to the original one. But yeah,
The
that's
the
exactly
work
it.
you
literally sketch
actually
it out.
did. Yeah, the work you actually did, and then you just on a laptop like that, didn't you? But like the actual
Yeah,
work,
literally. You just put the sketch up. But yeah, I mean, what I've done is I've taken a scale drawing and then I've sort of drew up the elevation and I've just moved around everything, trying to work out. I just made a list of all the rooms we wanted, and then I wanted to make sure that the dining room was not too far from the kitchen and that we had a boot room. And then we wanted there's no point having 2 boot rooms. So it's been a whole, because your boot's going to be in the other one you want, right? So you want your wellies and your boots in one place, which means you need a second front door because you need to be able to work a side door if you're going to use the main door as like a nice.
Well, let's double down on this piece of advice. It's a good nugget for anyone out there, particularly if you're selling flats, selling houses. Before you engage a CGI person from now on, you can do it in multiple ways. You can take the section through plans, floor plans. I've done this with floor plans as well. Or on site, you might have a white box finish. You might even just have your studs up. And I've done it with studs up as well. Take a photo of it, plug it into ChatGPT, Grok, or Gemini. I've found that Gemini is the best for me, but they're all just on the edge now, aren't they? And just put in a good prompt for the spec you want and what you want it to look like as a finish. And you can even put red dots on it for your socket positions. And you just make a diagram and say all the red dots are sockets. They're going to be black sockets, white sockets, whatever. The bed's going to go roughly here. And I swear to God, it's nigh on perfect. So and you could use that as sales collateral and put that into a brochure, and you've saved yourself a few grand on CGIs. It's definitely a good thing for people to use.
A few grand. I mean, I was contemplating using a full architect to do a full set of building drawings for this house, and I was thinking actually that's a bit of a defeat because it's what I do for a living, right? I design all this stuff around, and I was thinking actually I'm going to use ChatGPT to do every detail and spec everything, all the insulation, the floor, everything I want. I'm going to just use it as a full tool, make a full category, make a full catalog of all the questions. As what it's just so powerful. And literally, I'm going to try and build the whole mood board around it. And then keep adding stuff to it and just keep going back to the same category. So yeah, I'm going to use it as a bit of a play because it is that powerful. It's great.
Can you remember what life was like without these tools?
I know, mate. It's wild.
There was actually a conversation over here. A couple of the people that were over are in quite interesting jobs, tech and security based, like worldwide security. And we were talking about AI, and he actually believes it's a bit of a bubble, and that it's just basically a new version of a search engine that's way smarter. And is it ever going to be any more than that? Who knows? But my goals for next year, I'll go through each business as it is. So XP, we're looking to secure a couple of sort of 10 mil GDV schemes to get on site with, probably conversions with an element of new build. We've set ourselves a target to get to 60% net rent on overheads. One of our goals in our business in XP, separate to other businesses, is to get to a point where our net rent roll surpasses our business overheads. And then that means whether, depending on whatever month the development falls or a planning play falls, it doesn't matter because we're still operationally in profit off rents. We're currently at about 38%, I think. So another 20% bolted onto that for 2026. The goal is by end of 2027 to be self-sufficient on rents. XP surveys, we've grown like 30% this year, which is amazing. We want to hit about 600 to 700k in revenue this year, so that'll be another 15-20% growth. And we're also considering raising about 250 to 300 grand in EIS angel investment to sort of propel the platform that we're building. So we see it as two different businesses: an independent, almost like family-run surveying business, which is on the ground. We've got a team that's a core team, and then a digital business, which is the portal platform that we were building, which is an algorithm that automatically produces a quoting, a platform for architects to log in and see all the data that they need, including the 3D renders and all the files and all the photos, a marketplace for one-man band surveyors so that we can feed them all of the OPEX, overhead, sales, and sales funnel. So our biggest issue on price is we can't compete with a one-man band because his overheads are zero. You know, his wife does the books and that's that. But the problem for them is they don't have the continuity of work. If they are busy, they're busy for weeks. You know, they might have a job that will take them 2 weeks. Then if Stuart goes, can you come and do this loft? They go, well, I can't. I'm booked out for 2 weeks. Whereas our business can jump in and do that. So we're trying to build a marketplace for that tool as well. So we're looking for, I mean, we've chucked quite a lot of investment ourselves on this platform already, probably 50k plus. But we really want to take it to the next level and take it national. So we're going to be building that out, and we want to do like some form of EIS to do that. In Central Suites, so that's XP Surveys and Central Suites. We've got a lot of rooms that we're delivering at the moment. So HMO rooms, we should be up to, I think, about 200 beds by Q2 next year. So we want to get them finished, get them full, make sure our team is not feeling any cracks, because we've basically gone from, if you look 6 months ago, we're up to about 140 beds. So another almost 40% increase on management, which will be fun. And then personal stuff, play more golf, get in the gym more. We should be building a family home this year, so that's quite exciting. It's been an absolute ball ache in planning, with ecology, BNG, design, all of the above.
No,
not much more else to say.
Ecology.
Yeah,
nice, mate. Banging. Sounds good.
That's a
that platform, mate. That platform, I think, it's great that you're speculating in that way, because obviously you could just tread the path of a developer and just keep, doing the development stuff, and that you might have a servicing business and you build that servicing business, adding a digital edge. Sure, you never know if these things are going to work, but adding a digital edge where you have the underlying delivery infrastructure and the knowledge and the domain expertise as well, like that's a killer, because that's something you could spin off later, right? Along with the
platform.
How are you going to raise it? How are you going to raise it? Are you going to go to one investor for EIS, or are you going to crowdfund?
We, at this stage, don't really mind.
When you crowdfund, send me the link.
Thank you, mate.
I'm chucking a few quid. Anyone out there listening, if you want to crowdfund and fund Jack's project, fucking send it, mate. It's a free platform.
We haven't really got that far yet, but we're happy to crowd raise. We're easy. We've actually found that it may be easier. We do it independently ourselves. Typical crowdfunding platforms charge 5% of the raise, whereas that means that we have to raise 30% less if we bring that management of that in-house, if it's done correctly. We know a few people like Property Filter. He did a EIS crowd raise. So yeah, we will get there. But yeah, it's exciting. I mean, I see the platform as something that every surveying and architectural practice in the UK could be using, and it's a very scalable business model. Also, if you have AI, which it does, it's AI driven. If you have AI in the tagline, the multiple for selling that platform is 10x what you'd sell a surveying business for.
Yeah.
So
What's the revenue model for that? Is it like a subscription fee from both ends, or like what does it look like?
So from an architect's perspective, they're the user. So I think they should have the use of that for free. But the interesting thing is we could actually adapt the platforms that architects can use it for their clients. So we've built a platform so that surveyor works with architects and other surveyors, and it's a platform to sort of bring that all together and deliver the service of measured surveying. But then actually, when you take it from an architect's perspective, they could also use the platform for their clients. And also other resources that they could use within the industry. I mean, we could, and the and I'm sure someone must be making this now. One of the things I think is the most clunky like gap and value that could be created is all of the assessments that surround planning. Imagine if you had a platform where you just spent these are the 6 assessments that I need.
Tick.
This company did one around the corner a week ago, and they they can bid for the work, because that is really arduous. So there's lots of ways we can expand and bolt that on. But at the moment we're already using the platform internally. So what we've also done with the platform from a surveying company's perspective is, rather than using HubSpot for a CRM, Asana or Monday.com as a project management tool, Marketplace doesn't really exist. So that's kind of a new thing that we're creating. Zero, Google Calendars, Google Drive, everything is all in one place. So you've got a full end-to-end suite of one technical platform rather than going into 8 different platforms to do your work. So that was we actually built it for ourselves, because selfishly it's so clunky going from lead through your CRM. You need to then convert them to your Asana board. Then when your Asana board gets instructed, it then sends out. You then got to get your employee to send out a zero invoice. That zero invoice then reflects a date that goes in the calendar. We've systemized all of that. So one click, it goes, all of it done. Invoice sent out to the client. Email sent into our team so that we know what day the survey is. It's just completely automated.
Yeah.
Everything you just said there is in Salesforce. It's such a powerful tool. I know it's expensive, but now you literally can have everything from web interface through to invoice being sent, and every process in between, one click to the next, all on Salesforce.
But it's the quoting algorithm, isn't it?
The quoting algorithm I couldn't get on there, and I keep the finances separate because it's not part of the operation. So we just use a separate. We use 2 products, ClearBooks and Salesforce, and then Google Suite. But it sounds very similar, mate, to my good friend who was actually around last night for a tie and a catch up. He used to set up a company called Biobeam, where he actually had a steel company. But he was saying last night, if he went back 20 years, he wouldn't have gone into steel because it's cheap and it's fast. No one cares about steel in the construction industry. He was a welder originally, went into steel. And they just want cheap and fast. Where I said, obviously, with what Sky Lofts is and what we do as a loft business, is that we are selling an emotion and a quality which people will pay a premium for, and it gives you an upper edge to sort of build in a model around it. Where he was like, it's cheap, fast, and he's went and built a digital platform called Biobeam, and he is exactly that. You go into his application, he spent about 130 grand on it now, you click on the still section you want, the size, the type, the bolts you want, the length, you put it in. It's so user friendly. Your nan could use it. And what he does is he's used it to build it because he was losing so much time in quoting all these jobs. The complicated ones you don't make the margin on, but the simple stills in your extension, straight pieces, fast and cheap stuff is where you go to this website. And then he's found out that all his competitors are now going onto his website using that as the pricing model. So he can basically control the local economy on the price. And that's what they do with yours, I guess, as well. And but what he does is he's got about 30 other little small, father and son steel companies, independents, and he just makes a 5% cut on it and says, like, here's the application. They stick the things up on, because it saves them time as well. It's the same pain for them all. It's like, God, the time I have to spend with our customers, where we can just get them to go straight on the app, put in the prices. It will link them to the local geographical area where they are, and then it just puts the order through to them, and it prints out the order sheet, goes straight to the fabrication team, and it's out on the road the following morning. And it's a good little business,
like Starebox.
It's just like Starebox, yeah. So it's a great business model. And to be honest, looking at the quality of what XP surveys deliver, obviously they've done a full measured survey here to trial them out. Really, I've done other things with the commercial stuff with Jack, but actually for me to spend the time I've looked at them, it's exceptional. I mean, the photos and the package. When you're looking at so much and you don't know what you're doing, he's captured every radiator, every PowerPoint, effectively where the DB board is, the boiler, the outlets, and everything's captured. So it just gives you that time to go, right, where are we going to put everything? You're not going to make it a clanger. It is excellent.
The big benefit of what Jack's building is that the marketplace element allows for like a standardization of sales and toolkits, which gens up the actual, and if you can make it nationwide, you're genning up the practice as a whole, because you can give those things as add-ons or as features that make it even more sticky. And because you're a marketplace, you're not actually competing with anyone directly. You've just got the infrastructure to connect.
It's Uber. We don't have the cars, we don't have the
yeah.
drivers, but we have everything else, and we get them the job. Yeah.
The thing that's impressive is that you actually need someone. It doesn't matter how, until you can get a robot to go in there and do the whole thing. Yes, using that laser technology and all the rest of it. What you use Loom? Is it Loom you use? I think Ben sent me a video, a 7-minute video, to show me what he sees on his screen.
Loom,
and all the data
Yeah.
and all the
Loom,
technical advice. I was blown away by it. We literally sat in here with a few of the staff members, and I was like watching it together. I thought it's absolutely excellent. But what you can almost do is plug all that information straight into AI eventually, and then miss everyone out. Just literally get that service done, bang, straight into AI, and it'll design everything for you. And you just literally talk to your robot on your computer.
There is already platforms that are being built, predominantly out of India. Actually, India is a very well-known power force for surveying. Actually, Ryan introduced me to like one of his non-exec advisor who actually runs like a surveying business. He's got a team in India that do the drawing. We actually used to have a team in India that would draw, but we found by the time you've had all the back and forth and the language barrier and actually the cultural barrier, we found really difficult, because the Indians are yes men. Like they make a mistake and you say, don't make that mistake again. They go, yeah, sorry, we won't. And it happens the next day. And you're like, I literally said to you yesterday, don't do that ever again. And you said, yes, you acknowledged. And then they do it day. So anyway, but there's actually platforms out there. So at the moment, like the general rule of thumb is a surveyor goes to site, the kit's an expensive piece to have. They obviously need to know how to use it. The kit's getting easier to use. It's getting more seamless to use. Before we used to have to draw points and measure it all up and do that all manually with a almost like a 2D laser. Now it's a 3D laser. It takes 2 million points a second. So this thing is like super intelligent. That once that's done, let's say you're a day on site, you typically then need to allocate 3 days of drawing minimum. So what is being generated is that surveyor will still need to go to site with the scanning kit. But what you're referring to, Stuart, is AI should be able to take the output and draw it for you, so the humans don't have to draw it. Where it's
and design it and everything they're on.
Yeah, where it's really struggling is there's like glitches. Like it doesn't understand what a table is. It knows what walls are and it knows what a window is, but if you have a table with a bowl on it, it's like, oh, what the hell is this? Is this a chimney or is it a shelf?
In the same way that now and you've already experienced this on ChatGPT when you're iterating like image designs, if you do say just change the table to an oak table, it does recognize it's a table. Obviously, it's got a lot more learning data on what a table looks like as an image, but not as cloud point data files. But as it gets more of that data and more of that training from Indians and people who are going to do that at low cost of labor, eventually it will identify what everything is.
Yeah, it will get there, where it just draws it for you. So imagine if you're using that rule of thumb that I said, day on site, 3 drawing. If you're eradicating the drawing to like a couple of hours of quality control by a human reviewing AI, because it will do it in seconds, the surveying industry massively gets reduced. To then the demand being getting someone to site, which is what our platform is mainly built out of. So we don't want to, we're not going to build a platform that draws stuff in AI. That's not really our bag. That's way too technical for us. But what we can deliver is like the market and the market product, which carries, systemizes everything end to end. We will pay for that drawing output where it builds models, and like you say, is the main difficulty is ChatGPT is using typically photogrammetry to look at a table, understand it's a table, and then redesign it. But this is not only for photogrammetry; it's also measurement. All of our our bit of kit that we use is up to like a millimeter of accuracy over 50 meters. That scanning kit. The issue with ChatGPT is it may make it look like oak, but it can't move it because that
No.
model is there for measurements, not for looks.
I've done the first laser scan on a residential house in 2013 or 2014. This is like 12 years ago. And we used a company, a good friend of mine. He had a contact who used to send digital scanners down and to do all the oil rigs. Right, these things were doing £1 million a second, but the data behind it. So what happened is we went and done 3 jobs for quite affluent customers because we were impressing and we were young and we were trying to be dynamic, and we sent them in there. We got so much data back. Like you said, it's just black everywhere because it's scanned everything in every direction. You trying to cut a plane round somewhere to work out that it's not a table and it's not a lamp and it's not a curtain. It's impossible. So after spending like 6 weeks working on these 3 drawings, we had to go towel between our legs back to the customer and say, I'm so sorry, I need to resurvey your house because we've done something. We've spent 6 weeks trying to work it out, and it's just, let's start again. And then for 10 years, it's put me off. And then by what your guys done, and what the Loom conversation was, is that how you can cut a plane through to literally join the dots. You're playing dot to dot now with a level that's been scanned at a right height. So I can see the amount of hours you guys are put into just delivering on something. And Ben was like, we're working to like 30, 40 millimeter tolerances. I'm like, that's absolutely fine. We tell customers working to sort of 40, 50 millimeter tolerances, and it's all approx because it's new build onto an existing frame. Nothing's ever 100% square. So I'm really excited to see if we can make it work, and obviously be a bit of a guinea pig for you guys as well. So for the volume game, which you're getting into. So.
And just to add on to your piece there, Jack, I know you say never, but I think I've said this on the podcast a few times. In a world of AI, like a deflationary technology that's going to attack a lot of operational businesses, one of the last bastions is brand equity and the point of sale with consumers, trust, and building that trust. And if you've built a marketplace for essentially the entry data, then there's nothing to stop you at some point in the future where you've got this marketplace for all the entry data, and you probably just buy that technology or just add that technology on to create an end-to-end service, because you'd have that initial point of sale. So why not extend that LTV? And I know you've probably thought about this in a lot of different ways, but that brand equity piece, that trust for them to come to you first, gives you so much more leverage than if you were just the tech piece, because the tech piece ain't got buyers, and if you don't have buyers, you got nothing, right? So
one thing I have thought to myself, which is kind of a little mind blowing when you think about it, is we use GPS tracking data sometimes overlaid on our surveys. So we've got a measurement survey, and then we'll cast a GPS point on that. So you've got ordnance context on a drawing. The GPS kit is obviously coming from a satellite that's floating around the sky, which is why some cloudy days you can't actually do some GPS work. But what I thought could maybe even be possible, and it's probably an Elon Musk type of product, is imagine if you had an orbiting like something in the solar system that was so accurate at measuring, it could just measure everything. So it could just take a top-down measurement of everything in the UK and go, what slice do you want of it? I'll sell it to you. And although you would only get the externals, that would be a huge product. Just if you could just scan a whole country, be like, right, that's done. If you want to buy, but like buying a piece of the moon, if you want to buy that segment, that square mile, it's yours at this cost, and you've got to pay royalties for that. Maybe that's a bit far-fetched for us to do, but maybe the ground up could get a scanning study system.
Well, D, what's your strategy for this year, mate? What are you thinking? How are you going to take over the UK? Tell us.
Yeah, you can't wait for the 5th.
I was just enjoying that conversation. I actually felt like I was a listener to the podcast at that bit, then listening to a business idea, the pros of it, the cons of it, all that sort of stuff. And all that stuff really excites me, which is why I'm privileged to be a part of this podcast with you 3 great brains. But in terms of so thanks for that. And yeah, Jack, I was serious that when you do choose this to fundraise, if you are going to crowdfund, then send me and probably the other 2 a link as well. Would no doubt support your venture, my friend.
Do we get special ground up network discount?
Yeah.
Yeah. In terms of the goals, this year is going to be a big year. But to be fair, it's very focused. I'm very committed on my plan. It's not changed. It's just I'm just refining it, perfecting it, owning my space, so to speak. And I think that's just the best defense we can have, really, especially in today's world. It's but yeah, the first one, Castell itself, is to continue scaling. I've got 10 sites already committed to sell this year to clients or forward sold. So we're going to do that over the next 12 months. We'll want to add another 8 sites to the pipeline in Wales and 6 sites in West Midlands because we've started expanding into the next region. I'm onboarding a couple of staff members for that region as well, so very exciting stuff. So that's the first key goal, fast growth. Second is capital. I'm spending most of my time this year on capital restructuring. I want to raise £10 million minimum. So that's a goal. Third is really then personal stuff. So the 3 key things I want to make sure that I'm fit. So going to the gym, eating well, and sleeping well. The third one is something I'm very poor at. And then I've got some other personal, like hobby type goals. I want to finish learning to fly the helicopter, get my helicopter pilot's license, continue playing guitar, continue playing piano, all that sort of stuff. Still be a good husband, be a good dad. And then the last one is me and my wife are launching a charity. So I want to get that set up and then look to start scaling that alongside my business. My business is going to do a corporate pledge where a percentage of everything we do goes to that charity. And
Nice.
that charity is going to start small and it's got big plans for it in the future, but it's all going to be around unlocking or allowing underprivileged kids or children, whatever, opening the doors for entrepreneurialism and just backing people from a young age. Grassroots investments is going to start with, and then in the future, as it generates more traction and I can get more donators, etc., then we'll do bigger things. But
Love
it's a
it.
long
Have
play.
you got a name?
Yeah, but I don't think I can say it right now because it's currently with the charity commissioner. But I will tell you offline.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, official.
Excellent.
Love it, mate. What about regional expansion? Did you mention that? Are you going to be
Yeah,
training in some new
Midlands.
territories?
Yeah,
He said Midlands.
Midlands. Sorry, I
That was
missed
the-
that. Sorry, mate.
6 new builds.
yeah, eight new sites in Wales. 10 we're selling already. Add 8 new sites in Wales. Add 6 sites in West Midlands.
Brilliant.
Amazing. Mate, and what's
know where you
cool as well,
find energy, D.
anyone who's an avid listener of the
Pardon?
podcast will have heard D say this for like the last year and a half, talking about this expansion. And if you like, it'd be cool to piece together those different narratives where you've said and shown your map on the wall, and like now you've actually got the material stuff happening. It's cool. The podcast is like kind of like a time capsule in and of itself. Sick, mate.
Definitely.
Nice. I'll.
Are
You,
you,
Mike?
drink,
I'll
are, you
try.
drink, are you drinking coffee there?
Coffee, beer.
Alcohol free.
Nice.
Alcohol free.
That's why you're not sleeping very well.
Alcohol-free beer. So.
Yeah, nice, mate.
Go on, Mike.
All right,
How's
I'll,
your year looking?
Yeah, I will. I'll list off as quick as I can. So it's funny the bit Dorian said about this year is going to be a big year, yeah. Because I don't know if you guys seen it, but I posted on my story today the extracts from our monthly bulletin that we do as a company, and I'll do like a
Yeah, I read
director's
it. Good.
piece. Yeah, and it's essentially that same sentiment that I remember when I started the business in 2019, and I knew the first project was going to go so well. 2020 was going to be a big year. Then COVID hit, and I just about survived. Then I knew 2021 was going to be a big year. Blah blah. The COVID fallout pulled the banks out of the market, but I still survived. 2022, etc. Putin, Keir Starmer arrives on a
Do you
dinghy,
know what it
all
reminded
that
me
kind
of?
of stuff.
Keir Starmer arrives on a dinghy.
Do you know what it reminded me of, Ryan?
Go
I
on.
don't know if you know, but there's this gold the treasure hunter, and that found that Spanish shipwreck off the coast of America, and he was searching for decades, and his son died while looking for it. And there's a tagline: every day he woke up and said, "Today's the day."
Today's the day.
Every day.
It's such a true sentiment. Like if you're a business owner, and the whole point of it was at the end of it, I went and just survived, and what's her name? Rachel Thieves is stealing all our money. I'm at the end of 2025 and I'm looking at 2026. And what am I thinking? Nothing, because I know 2026 is going to be a big year. And the whole point is eternal optimism is what gets you through all the hard shit. It's not, the market's always going to be difficult and people are always going to be scared, but it's just staying in the game, plugging away, working hard, protecting the downside, but always looking to the upside as the carrot. I think that is the reason that us four in business, we are all optimistic people. We're not cynical people. Whereas there's many cynical people who pull out the game and they go, I'm going to wait, I'm going to time the market, or I'm going to like wean down, or just give up entirely. And obviously, of course, you're not going to win if that's what happens. So yeah, I just thought it was a funny anecdote. In terms of plan for this year, so we've just launched a client portal. That the main thing I want to do this year is really stamp Beaumont, the Beaumont and Partners name, along with the blue butterfly logo. I want that to be the go-to name for property investors when it comes to, I want to invest in property. That's the first name I think of. The same way when you think of, house builders, you think of Persimmons, Berkeley Group, etc. I want to position the brand in that way and have the best of the best property investment service that we can. Obviously, it's such a big market. No one can corner the market in property investment because no one can deal with trillions and trillions of pounds. There's so much money that goes into it. But we want to try and put ourselves as the best or the most trusted brand in the space. And the way we're doing that now is I spent last year developing the direct point of sales, which is now just crazy. We just got investors coming through all the time, raised another £1 million yesterday off of a 20-minute phone call, because our sales team or our consultants team is now doing all of the legwork in securing the capital. And some of the big ticket players, I'll just step in on a final closing call just to basically sign it off. And then we're bringing a lot of smaller players through, a lot of people with 100 grand, 200 grand, 500 grand. So we've kind of got that on lock, and that's done through the media buying. Now there's this layer above, which has been the vlogs, which we've done since the start of the company, vlogged everything we've done. And that's like our ecosystem layer, where it's eternal, it's evergreen content that's always creating touch points of sale with the end user, with the consumer, with the investor. And to give you an anecdote for that, when I got on the call with this client yesterday, I'd never spoke to them before. Neil had done all the legwork with them. I got on the call. The first thing they said, I swear to God, I'm not trying to toot my own trumpet, it's just showing the power of media. Got on the call and they said, wow, it's Ryan. It's like being in the presence of greatness. Obviously saying it in a satirical, charming way, because they've been watching the vlog for like
I bet
4
you
months.
loved that. I
It's
bet
great.
you loved
It
it.
was great. I was like, well, don't mind me. But the point being,
Keen, get me the coconut oil.
That's his next tattoo. It's going on his that one.
Greatness. But the point being, the power of the media did all the relationship building for me, and I'm not having to do that. And we discussed this way back when we all met, and I said about my idea to like try and do this and create automated sales and capital raising. We've kind of got that sorted. Well, we have that sorted now, the media buying, but the vlogs to me are still very subpar what I want them to be. I want it to be like a TV show every month. So we've completely reformatted what we're doing, and I think it's going to be it'll be one of the biggest things I do this year. Even though operational stuff will be impactful, setting up the office in London to double down on the capital raising, all of that will be good operational decisions, and it will move the needle. But I think if I can get this right on changing it from a weekly vlog that's very kind of passive and just sort of shows things that go on and anecdotes, to a monthly documentary piece that really shows, almost like a TV show, like capturing narratives, sit down pieces with staff, a couple investors getting involved, showing projects, showing the ski trip, showing like a lifestyle as well as a business, and the trials and tribulations. I think I can make some of the best property content, which then feeds into that whole become the brand in the space that people know, like, and trust and think of when they come to making an investment decision. So that's my goal for this year, is to really double down on that narrative to position the company in that way, and obviously keep scaling everything else we're doing. And also Ground Up. I think Ground Up is a really exciting opportunity that we're sat on. We haven't figured it out yet in terms of what it's exactly going to do, but it's kind of doing it by its own sort of force and attraction and pulling people in. But I think there's a lot we can do with Ground Up this year, in a similar vein to what I'm trying to do with Beaumont, is that Ground Up becomes the go-to trusted place for source of information, trusted network and third parties. If it's through Ground Up, if it's got that accreditation, then it's a valuable resource. And that's obviously how we want to try and position things. So beyond that, operational stuff, I'm excited. But what do we think about Ground Up, boys?
Interestingly, just before we go into Ground Up, I like comparing, right? Like, so I know that Ground Up has some alike podcasts that have been around a lot longer, but one weekly vlogger that comes to mind for me is Asheville Aggregates. Have you seen that channel? So he's got I think 500,000 subscribers, and I guess for the listeners, you're trying to position the Beaumont monthly into that. I mean, 500,000 subscribers is nuts for a YouTube channel anyway. For someone that's not famous like Taylor Swift or whoever it may be. So your view
For
is
the
to try and use,
sector, it's very impressive
yeah,
because
and
like you can,
this
you know,
guy's
he
talking
doesn't do
about
silly,
aggregates.
stupid things.
Yeah.
This guy's talking about aggregates. Like, you couldn't get a more boring topic. So he's absolutely smashed it. So is that for you? You want Bowman and Partners to be the sort of pioneer channel for property investment?
Yeah, for property development and obviously as a byproduct investment. That's the play. Asheville's the kind of difference is, and I believe I can get a lot of subscribers and get big viewership doing it, but that's not my goal. Importantly, that's not my goal, because what Asheville's done is built a big subscriber base that doesn't buy much from him, but builds him brand and trust in his industry. So it's useful to him. But I want to make sure that all the subscribers and the audience we get, as much as possible, are potential consumers, and it's positioning the content in that way. Asheville's story was interesting because of how we showed he's this like normal guy building this stuff, he's grinding away. It was very relatable content, and I will make it somewhat relatable, but really I want to tell the business story in a little bit more detail, so it's a bit more of a documentary as opposed to like a day in the life. So it's slightly different, but yeah, Asheville absolutely aggregates. Who the fuck's getting 500,000 subscribers as an aggregates business? Like, it's testament to what you can do with media. And we're releasing, by the way, as well, we're releasing the first documentary. Should be end of Feb, and that first documentary to kick off the series is the entire company journey from day one all the way to now. So we kind of condense years of vlogs into one consumable piece, and then off the back of that, have the story kind of follow on, and we'll see how it
Are
goes.
you going to do a premiere?
Do you know what's interesting with Asheville? I don't know if any of you've watched his stuff, but I've actually that he stopped his
Yeah,
I watched his last episode. Well, his business failed, but in terms of his aggregates business, but he actually stopped his YouTube like weekly vlogging channel, which I think he did for about 5 years, and got him obviously most of his subscribers. And when in the chat, it's actually interesting that he pointed out a lot of negatives that have come from his posting and his growing his channel. That actually, this is the paradox with, and you hear it all the time. Businesses, you can either kind of fly under the radar, not build a big channel, not draw exposure, build a company, and that business is successful, and you exit, whatever. And then you build in the spotlight, and the problem is, you know, money follows from the numbers, attraction, but also he had a lot of negativity from it in terms of HMRC turning up the site, people reporting him, just lots of targeted hate. Which the bigger you are publicly, the more prone you are to being picked.
Yeah, and I'm acutely aware of that, D. I'm very acutely aware of that. Obviously, I had a pretty unique experience in the band, and I'm aware of how legacy content can come back to bite you, to contradict you, to do these things. So it's very important with an online presence to be historically correct as much as humanly possible with your own narrative and with your own business. And I make sure that we're pretty impenetrable, because I talk about how this project's delayed, that's pissed off some clients. And now I've got to deal with those pissed off clients, blah, 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 blah. I've got to do this. This is standard business stuff. So if a client ever came out the woodworks and said, Beaumont and Partners is, useless, they delayed my project, they did this and that, I could say, yeah, do you know what? It did delay, and we did fall short on that one. We apologize. We made up for it. We always make sure that financially we do everything we can to support clients, so that as long as you're historically correct, you've never tried to screw anyone over, there's no nasties that can really come out and grab you other than people trying to make up fake stories. But I think if you have a good, strong enough, transparent brand, people doing that create noise, and you just chew that back, and then it just helps elevate you further. But it is a game. It's definitely a fiery game, because some things are well out of your control, like market issues or something that does, like Asheville. To be fair, Asheville going under in the plant side of his business, he describes the story, and I'm not going to lie, it seemed pretty stupid what he did, like allowing these rogue people who he didn't know to take full ownership and equity in his company, and then make the decisions, and then wondered why they end up screwing him over. It's like, well, why did you let him take the equity in the first place? And he was like, just wasn't aware at the time of what that would lead to. So I don't think we'd make those kind of mistakes. But it is fire, mate. So
Guys, my internet's terrible. It must be because it's like 5 minutes past 8. So I'm going to leave you free to it. I'm going to go and sit in front of the darts and get myself another alcohol-free zero.
He just wants to watch
as much as I love
mate.
you boys, I'm up for just thumbs up him. Wherever the plans are ground up, I'm all in. I'll see you guys on the 9th. I can't wait to talk about Bitcoin in front of 150 people. I'm going to see how many things get thrown at me when I start talking about Bitcoin. But then I'm going to make it all up with a lovely, great HMO deal. And if I can bring the room back together. So, boys, I'm going to love and leave you. Happy New Year, everyone.
Give us your,
Have a
before you go,
2026.
give us your best darts announcing impression.
I can't hear, mate. The internet's gone. I've got to go. I'll see you later.
He's wriggled out of that one.
He's fucking with you, mate. Safe on, Stu. All right, well, last piece then, boys, because we're at the hour mark. Ground up, like, what's the thoughts on what we can do with Ground Up this year? Obviously, we're going to do a strategy session now where we'll talk about details of things, but just for our viewers' benefits, what can they expect from us this year in terms of what we're trying to do with the piece, I suppose, with the network? What do you reckon? D?
Just a nod.
To the moon.
To the moon, baby. Yeah. Give us some more detail, maybe. So a bit more useful.
Yeah, well, look, I mean, we're sitting on a gem, really. The question is, and the reason why we're sitting on a gem is because we genuinely are just genuine property people who've come together because we want to. You know, I believe in that saying. You're the sum of the people you spend your time with, and you know, you're all business owners. You're successful. You're visionaries. You're big picture thinking. You're not afraid to dance the dance. You've got grit, determination. Who else would you want to spend time with? So the reason why we're sitting on gem is because it's up to us. Like, what do we want to do? Do we want to? What I would see us do is we continue doing the podcast because I think it's great, but we just make it a bit more relatable. We just get more feedback and try to make sure that as it's growing, the audience is getting something every time they tune in. Whether it's like Jack hit on something earlier, great. We'll deep dive into that second because it was relevant, like the CGI thing, using that at the stage. That's a great golden nugget there that anybody listening, if they took one thing away, that could save them 250, 300, 400, 500 pounds on the next listing every single time just by doing that one tip. I mean, great. Stuff like that. We should do more of that. More guest speakers. We should do that as well, that are reputable. And events. I like the event side. We should do like the gatherings. The go-karting was great. The skiing's going to be awesome. The golf was great. We should build the community and get more people around. But there's tons of value we can do. I mean, where do you see it, Ryan? You think about this stuff a lot.
Yeah, no, but I agree with all of the practical things that we can do to add value for people. And just sort of reiterating on what I was saying before, I think whatever we end up doing operationally, it's got to lead to Ground Up becoming the most trusted kind of thought leader and resource in the space for property people, for investors, and hopefully business owners as well, particularly business owners within our sector. So people who may be brokers, they might be estate agents, they might be builders, whatever. Hopefully we can provide something where they can take part in a network, offer value themselves just by being there, get business out of it, find good resources, know that they're vetted through us and through a discography of credible sources. I think there's ways we can position it so that it just becomes this like a marketplace, basically, like a marketplace network that's we should hopefully in the limit be able to make a lot of money from. But it should save a hell of a lot of people a lot of money in the mistakes and the kind of opaqueness of this industry, where it can be really hard to get good contacts, to get good ideas, to save on issues. I mean, the amount of times we've called each other on different occasions, but I can speak for myself where I've called you guys and gone, I've got this thing, what do you think? And you say something that I just not even thought of, and I'm like, oh shit, that's completely changed my thinking on it. And that might save me thousands of pounds, might make me thousands of pounds more, in some cases a lot more money. And the value of having that kind of like syntax with a network is huge. And the only people who do it at the moment charge you 10,000, 20,000 pounds a year for access. And I just think we can undercut them and create a much better value-led, network-led system under the Ground Up brand, with the podcast being our sort of top of funnel. That's my thoughts. Jack, what do you think?
Yeah, I think obviously the like the main reasons that we set up the podcast was, like Dorian said, like you said, is selfishly we like talking to each other and sharing ideas. We thought that the ideas that we're sharing and the conversations we're having and the healthy debates we're having would be useful for other people that are in similar shoes and situations and industries to us. So that was like principle number one. We like having a bit of fun. I think we take the piss out of each other, and that's kind of like we're very much leave your ego at the door and help each other. And not only do we have a bit of fun, I feel like we're very honest and upfront in an industry where a lot of people aren't honest. And a lot of people say to me, "Oh, shall I pay this to be in this network, or shall I pay this to be in this education?" My first question I ask those people is that person teaching you earning more from teaching or from developing? And that simple answer is where I feel we build the grounds of this network. We're not really in it to be our future fund and our main profit earner. We are doing the doing, and we are prepared to share the downsides, like you said earlier, Rye. We share the problems, we share the upsides, and there's a lot of smoke and mirrors in our industry, which hopefully helps us have our niche around just being real and having a bit of fun with it. So I think what we would love to hear from our listeners is actually more of what you would like, because we love topics and questions that come in for the podcast. The reason we're doing events was actually by popular demand of the listeners. They said, when can we get face to face? The network, and actually, I met with one of our network members, Cormac, actually at one of my sites, and he introed someone to the network. And I said, we really need to get like a referral scheme going, because we massively appreciate that. And he said, look, I'm happy sharing this with anyone because I get so much value from the network myself. So I feel like it's like, if you have a good product and you make sure that you listen to the people that are consuming that product, and it's needed in an industry where, it's all well and good, you can pay X amount for a commercial conversion course, but the actual devil is in the detail. Law and regulations change. How do you get that support to go through? So I see us as almost a very molded and adaptive community where we can help others. Some others help us, but we have fun along the way. And the most prioritizing thing is, like you said, is trust and honesty, really.
One of the big parts of the trust is the cost, right? It's £100 a month. It's like paying a utility bill to have access to all this kind of value. And I think that's probably our biggest sales benefit, is that we're not in it to charge an individual thousands of pounds. We want you to do well and have a support network. Guaranteed, we don't have the time of day to be able to sit down with you all day and troubleshoot something the way if you paid someone 10 grand maybe would. But what does that person with 10 grand really know? You're taking your 10 grand really know compared to a network of experienced people who can all help and hive mind with each other. So
a lot of what we put out there, you can kind of draw your own opinions and execute on whatever you think is wrong, right, or indifferent. But equally, we always want to be able to, on the podcast, have a light touch form, fairly, very content heavy, bit of fun from the podcast, from the network. We don't want to be like others where that's our main bread and butter. And also, we're not giving you enough information to be dangerous, but not enough information to deliver. And that's been a high priority for us.
Yeah. It's exciting times. It's going to be cool. And like we said, event live is going to be tomorrow by the time you're listening to this.
I think we should put, I think this is the one bit I think you disagree with on, Ryan, is I think we should put a budget together for more ad spend to just increase the exposure. I think like the organic growth is great, but I think we should, just not enough people know about it.
Yeah. Well, this is where we'll do the strategy session, because there's a few things that we can play around with. Like, happy to talk about them on the podcast, but we'll be here for a while going through some of those bits. But yeah, there's stuff we definitely want to grow, right? And I think there's a few things we can do organically, and I do think there's a downside to YouTube ad spend, purely because you can manipulate your algorithms, and if you can crack organic, what you need to crack YouTube, there's one thing you need. You need preferred search from the algorithm. That's it. If you can crack that, and there's ways you can do it, and I've literally, the last episode we put out, you've seen it done fairly well. That's because I've got the guys in Sri Lanka working on this new thing, and I'll explain how that sort of works off the call. And it's not cheating or anything. It's just being way more data analytical and having someone sat there moving the needle when you post an episode, so that you can help the YouTube algorithm prefer your video. And once you can start to get that working, episode on episode, increase retention rates, then YouTube does all the lifting of the ad spend, and it didn't cost you any ads. So there is a way to do it organically. Ad spend on Instagram is different though. It's a different behavioral platform. They automatically restrict your reach, and the organic algorithms are shit. So the ads on Instagram are beneficial. So bit of a caveat there. But yeah, as of tomorrow, once this is posted, tomorrow, 9th of January, is the Ground Up live event. Look forward to seeing everyone there. Gassed about it. It's gonna be sick. And get your tickets if you listen to this before the event, if you've not got any already. And it'll be a big day, big sesh, beautiful. And subscribe. Do us a favor. Subscribe.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Have a good 2026.
Bit of a dead
Big
sheep.
love. And peace.
Did you say I've seen a dead sheep?
Yeah, I didn't get what you said there, D.
I think it's Italian. I don't know that or something. I don't know.
Oh, I thought you were saying Happy New Year
I
in
heard it
Welsh.
on the TV.
Round up sound. Ooh, yeah.